Our first guest is my coworker and good friend Eric Donovan. You may be familiar with Eric. He used to appear on Talking Horse with me until he couldn't take it anymore. And he did the morning line for us at NYRA, and in my opinion, the greatest morning line maker of all time, with no disrespect to any others, Eric Donovan.
Thank you.
Eric is one of the reasons I wanted to have Eric on, besides the fact that we're good friends and working together, is that Eric is an instrumental behind the scenes in our television show. And everybody gets to see the television show and appreciate how complimentary everybody is to all the people on the show. But I don't think that people behind the scenes get enough credit. And I wanted Eric to have a chance to talk about, besides babysitting me and putting up with my whining on a daily basis.
It's a lot of work, by the way.
It's no surprise to anybody, people who know me or don't know me. Talk a little bit about what your role is with the TV show and sort of on a daily basis, but in general also.
Well, my role now is basically overseeing the TV department underneath Tony Alivato, who's the executive producer. So Tony's got a lot of great ideas, and I try to execute them with the rest of our crew, who does a great job every day. And we've done these shows for 4 years now, and each year they just get bigger and bigger and stronger, and more people contribute. And it's just great to work with a team that just keeps developing and have this opportunity to make such an impact on a national scale.
It's also an interesting situation for a racetrack, because most racetracks just have a simulcast program. We have a simulcast program, and then half the year we have this program for TV. We basically have two productions going on at the same time.
Yeah, that's right. The simulcast goes on, all year long, and John Imbrial does a great job overseeing that and calling some races in the winter as well. And we try to work in sync with both shows. It's not easy at times because we're calling for different horses at different times, and we share the same cameras and we share all the same infrastructure. So it's a lot to be able to pull it off and make both productions look as good as they do.
You were working in racing for a long time. You joined NYRA in the late 90s?
That's right, 1997.
And how long have you been hanging out at the racetrack before you started working at NYRA?
Not a whole lot longer than that. Probably 93 was when I first started getting into the races. Me and a couple of buddies were looking for something to do final exam week in school, so we took a ride up to Highline in Bridgeport, and I had a fake ID. My friends didn't. I could get in, but they couldn't, so we're like, what are we going to do? So they went to Yonkers Raceway to bet the Preakness and said, we can go bet Belmont simulcast at Yonkers. I'm like, all right, let's go. So we bet, I won a little bit, and the rest is history. So in 1996, I saw that in the Daily Racing Forum that there was a scholarship for New York journalism students interested in racing. I applied for it. Jason Blewett won it that year. I won it the next year, and part of that internship was, part of the scholarship rather, was a paid internship in Saratoga for the summer. And that was it. I started working for the press office in 1997. Did a little bit of work while I was still in school, coming back home. And 99, I graduated college on a Saturday, Preakness Saturday, and went to work on Wednesday. And 22 years later, here I am.
It's not bad. Now, the press office was a little different when you were there. The press box itself, a lot more characters there when you were working there. Like besides Stabile. Stabile was there, right?
He's always there.
Right. Always there. Rick Lang was there.
Yeah, it was a lot different back then. I mean, each of the New York papers had at least two people there, sometimes three. Rick Lang, Dave Grenning was working for the Post back then when I started. Daily News had Jerry and Bill Finley, and before that, they had a number of other guys as well. And Daily Racing Forum always had a few people there, and the local papers always had 2 or 3 people there too. So on an average weekday, you'd have 25, 30, beat writers up there essentially. Now it's probably down to 10 or so, and some people that do blog stuff and that are up there. But Travers Day, Whitney Day, I mean, it was jam-packed. It was 50 people up there, so just a lot different. The newspaper industry, media industry has changed a lot, so the TV coverage is great. A lot of people can watch from home and do their job at home and don't have to come out to the track. It's kind of similar to how the betting goes now. A lot of people just can watch and bet on IRA bets at home and don't have to come to the track. But of course, we want everyone to come to the track. It's really the only way you get people involved in racing. I think you can try to show people how it looks on a computer or on TV, but until you get them to the track and experience how great it is, that's how you make fans.
Yeah, I think one of the things we do in Saratoga, we try to get people to enjoy racing and then come to Saratoga. And everybody comes to Saratoga during the year. Now, you worked on TV for a while. What were some of your favorite stuff about working on television before you were working behind the scenes?
Oh, being next to you, of course.
Right. That's everybody's favorite thing.
I really enjoyed handicapping the races and sharing my opinion, and having some arguments with you and disagreements, and just trying to get it across to the public. And it was fun. It was a lot of work, and it was cool,
my favorite moment was on the show. I don't know if people know this, but I like pushing people's buttons. And Eric's on the show with me, and he picked some Jimmy Jerkins horse. And we were at Belmont, and I just started needling him and saying, like, why'd you like it? And I really got him mad. It was the only time I think I've ever seen you get mad. And meanwhile, I'm doing this, Johnny Ice texting me, and he's going, this is great. And of course, Eric's horse won and paid $20.
I think you still owe me lunch from that, by the way.
Do I?
You could get.
You want a few of Stabile's lunch?
I'm going to give it to
the
Stabile.
Stabile lunch count is at 31 in case.
Right, so now it's at 30.
Counting. I'm not counting, but you can have 3 of them if you want.
I think that horse had a perfect trip last time, you were saying, and he couldn't win again because he had a perfect trip. I'm like,
Right.
well, he's improving. He might get another perfect trip. He puts himself in a good spot, and that's what he did.
It's interesting. When you look back and working, you've been around since the late 90s working there. Who are some of your favorite horses and favorite races in that time period being at NYRA?
My favorite horse still all time is Cigar. Kind of the first horse you really fall in love with is the one you always remember. So that was really the first big horse that I saw in my time. I was trying to remember today if I actually saw him run live, because I was in school the year in '95 when he won all those races at Belmont in the fall, and he really didn't run a whole lot in New York when he ran his streak. I mean, he was all over the country. He was Pimlico and Gulfstream in the winter, and Oak Lawn, and he ran out in Hollywood Gold Cup.
I think I saw him more times at Gulfstream than I saw him in New York.
Yeah, no, he didn't run a whole lot up here, so I didn't get too many chances to see him, but still just nervous going into that Breeders' Cup, 10 for 10 on the line with the perfect season, and he did it there, and then ran it up to 16 before that streak ended.
Yeah, I mean, you came in a very good time. When you started is when horses like Skip Away, they were running. I always felt like Skip Away was one of the most great unsung horses. It doesn't get enough credit.
Well, I needed him in the Belmont, and he got beat there, so I don't know. He kind of...
Who were the people you dealt with in the press office that you found the best and the most difficult?
Like trainers and horsemen? It was different. I mean, it was hard to tell. I mean, I loved Bobby Frankel when he was around people and he could kind of joke around, but one-on-one, he was just, it was not easy. Like, he would just give you one-word answers, and but when he had a crowd around, he was funny, he was honest, and he was great to cover. Todd Pletcher's always been great. I don't really, go over to the barn too much more, but he was always accommodating. All the guys have been great. Lucas was tough originally. Now, I think he's a little bit better. I remember going over to the barn a couple times, and Wayne, where's Wayne? No, he'll be back, and okay, I'll tell him you came, and then you come back like 5 minutes later. Oh, you just missed him, he left. One of those type of deals. So that he was tough on the press, and not just me. I mean, he was tough on all of them. Scotty Schulhofer was pretty tough,
really?
From time to time, yeah. But all in all, I'm amazed for everything these guys have going on with all the horses, the owners, and everything else they got to put together. Actually, how they make time for the media, especially guys like Todd and Chad. So much going on with the owners and the horses that it's really nice for them to give them the time.
Well, we ask a lot of them with the TV show too. I mean, we're constantly bothering.
But I think on the other hand, a lot of them realize that to grow the game and to make the game better, they have to do that. It has to be part of it. That you have to be media friendly and you have to try to sell it a little bit, and they do a really good job at it.
Before we let you go, are you looking forward to getting back to Belmont? Because we're not really sure what we're going to have in store for us at Belmont because they have broken ground on the arena. Are you getting ready to set those TV trucks up? We've got about 2 days after we leave here to be ready for Friday. What are the chances that everything's working in TV on Friday?
I'm going to keep my fingers crossed and leave that up to the rest of the crew. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to getting home. It's been a great summer up here, and you get to see a lot of people you don't get to see the rest of the year up here for a while. And but there's something about your own bed, your own kitchen, obviously your family too, that you miss. And it's tough coming off of Saratoga. There's always such a good vibe here, so many people around, everyone's so much anticipating it, and then it's over, and no matter where you're going, it's a tough adjustment.
It is, and the reason is people like the people here tonight. Eric, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you back at Belmont.
Thank you.